Hello students, today we are going to start the next component of the blood, that is plasma. So plasma is a liquid component where all the foam components, that are the RBC, WBC and the platelets, they are floating. Okay. So first of all, what is the plasma and what are the components present in the plasma? So the first thing, that the plasma is going to have around 90 to 92% only water. So this is fluid in nature. Why? Because most of it is just the water. So what are the another components that are present and what are the characteristics? Characteristics is first thing, that if it is coming to the plasma, that is basically alkaline. Why alkaline? I told already, the blood is slightly basic, that is around 7.4 pH. Okay, so this plasma, obviously it's a component of blood, so it is also alkaline in nature. Next one, it is intercellular substance. Intercellular substance means it is the substance present outside the cell. If the liquid present inside the cell, it will be known as the intracellular fluid, and if that fluid is present outside the cell, that will be known as the extracellular fluid. So basically this plasma is the intercellular fluid, that means outside the cell it will be also known as extracellular or intercellular. If it is present inside the cell, it will be known as the intracellular fluid. Okay, so what is it? This plasma is basically intercellular, then pale yellow, and it is a transparent fluid. It's slightly yellowish in color, but yes, we can also say that it is transparent in color. Next thing, that what are the components of the plasma? So just see, this plasma is going to have water, then mineral salts, nutrients, then plasma proteins, hormones, gases, then vitamins and the enzymes. Okay, so if it is coming to the water, I told already 90 to 92% it is only the water. Next one, the salts. Different type of salts are present. It is around 0.9%. What are they? Chlorides, bicarbonate, sulfate, phosphate. These are the different salts, mineral salts. Next on the nutrients. What is the nutrient? See, whenever we have digestion, we break the food molecule. We digest the food molecule to its unit, right? So that unit, whenever we absorb, then to the blood, the nutrients will go, isn't that? And this blood is transporting that nutrients to the tissues. So in the blood, what we will have, the glucose, fatty acid, phospholipids, all the type of nutrients which is about to go to the cell. So this will be also present in the plasma. Next thing, different type of plasma proteins. As I already mentioned, in the blood, that this blood is going to have three types of protein. What are they? Fibrinogen, albumin and globulin. So what are these? Actually, these are the three types of proteins that is present in the blood, and it is around 7 to 8%. Next one, hormones. We know that all of the hormones, they have been transported by the blood itself, and yes, it is not only the hormones but also some amount of vitamins and very little amount of enzymes also that can be transported by blood. And apart from it, what is the chief function of blood? Is to transport oxygen. You can think that now this oxygen is transported by this hemoglobin present in the surface of RBC, isn't that? Yes, this oxygen is transported by this hemoglobin present in the surface of RBC, but not 100%. Some amount of oxygen and carbon dioxide that can dissolve in the plasma. Okay, and this way they can be transported. So oxygen not only be transported by hemoglobin, it can be transported in diffuse form in the plasma also. Okay, so that thing you have to know, you have to remember. Next one, this is about the characteristics of the plasma, the components of the plasma. That is about the blood itself. I have told about the liquid component, that is plasma, and foam component, that is RBC, WBC and platelet. Okay, so under that we will see the next type of fluid connective tissue, that is lymph. Okay, so after that let's just move to the lymph. So what is lymph? Lymph basically is the liquid. Okay, how it will be formed I will tell you, but lymph will have every type of components present in the plasma. There is a specific thing that in the lymph we will not have the cells RBC and the platelet. Okay, so if it come to the lymph, the composition will be only one cell. Remember, WBCs will be chiefly present, and along with that, if it comes to the ions, then it is going to have high level of calcium ion, sodium ion, and if it is the biomolecules, then highest amount of glucose is present. But other than rest of the things, all of the things like the gases, nutrients, everything are going to be same with the plasma. Okay, so yeah, it is going to have very less protein. Okay, remember that here we have said that the plasma contain all this type of proteins, but in the lymph we have very less protein or no protein. Okay, so these things you have to know, you have to remember. After that, we will see actually what is the function of the lymph. First thing, we should know how actually this lymph is produced. Okay, it's very interesting. Let's just see what is it. First of all, if this is a blood vessel, right? Okay, this is suppose a blood vessel. Now in this blood vessel, just imagine, suppose from this blood vessel 100 ml of blood is flowing. But if you see at a distance, after some time you will see that is around 80 ml of blood is flowing. What will happen to remain 20% of the blood? Where it has gone, isn't? So what is that? Here some amount of blood actually is just squeezed out. Okay, out of the blood vessel. I told about the tight junction, that tight junction prevent leakage, isn't that leakage across the membrane, but actually all the time it is not possible. Some amount of blood will squeeze out, you cannot stop it. Tight junction will try to maximally prevent the loss, okay, but some amount of fluid will come out, okay, and RBC and platelet cannot come out, but yes, WBC can squeeze out of the blood vessel. I told you what is that phenomenon by which the WBC can squeeze out of the blood vessel, that is diapetesis. Okay, so that's why you can see highest amount of WBC is present in the lymph, because due to diapetesis the WBCs will come out of the blood vessel. Okay, so just see, whenever we see a blood vessel, from that blood vessel some amount of blood is coming outside, that will be known as the tissue fluid. Okay, and that tissue fluid is going to have high level of oxygen and nutrients. Okay, and see this is the tissue fluid itself. Whenever it is present inside the blood vessel, we will call this as the plasma. Whenever it is coming out of the blood vessel, what we can call it now, tissue fluid. Okay, so as this tissue fluid is going to have high amount of oxygen and the nutrients, whenever it is coming outside the blood vessel, what it is going to meet? The cells, the tissues, isn't that? So the cells and the tissues, they will take out this nutrient, they will take out this oxygen also, because the cell will be always in the search of nutrients and the gases, oxygen. So oxygen will be taken and nutrients will be taken from the tissue fluid by the cells, by the tissues, right? Now after some time, what will happen? The tissue, the cell will undergo its own metabolism, and after that it is going to produce carbon dioxide. So that carbon dioxide and waste product, the nitrogenous waste product, that will be pushed once again to the same fluid. Okay, now whenever to the same fluid, now this tissue will remove this carbon dioxide and the waste. Okay, then that fluid, which is earlier known as the tissue fluid, now we cannot call this as the tissue fluid. Now we will call this as the lymph. Understand? So that is the lymph, which is now having carbon dioxide and the waste, right? And if you can see, if you can notice here that if from the blood vessel some amount of blood is coming outside, squeeze out of the blood vessel at one period of time, what will happen? That from this blood vessel, all of the amount of blood, that is plasma, will come outside and it will be converted into lymph, isn't that? So there is a complete system by which this lymph once again is coming back to the blood vascular system, that is known as the lymphatic system. So this lymph, which is now will enter into the lymphatic vessels. Okay, so there will be a lymphatic vessel, so that lymphatic vessel will carry out this lymph. Okay, from this tissue fluid it will carry carbon dioxide and the waste, and it will give it to the veins. Okay, by one system that is known as the lymphatic system. Okay, so what is lymphatic system actually? Lymphatic system is nothing but it acts just as a middleman, intermediate, that will take this carbon dioxide and the waste from the tissue to the veins, because the veins cannot go to each and every region of our body, each and every cells of our body. So that carbon dioxide and the waste will take up by this lymphatic system, and it will be given once again to the veins by what? By the lymph. Right? So what will be the function of lymph? It will carry carbon dioxide, it will carry waste, it will give actually a moist environment, a fluid environment, so that the cells can survive, because the cells will require a moist environment so that it can survive. Right? So that moist environment will be given by this lymph. Okay, so that is about the lymph. There are not more thing you need to know, because in the next chapter, body fluid and circulation, once again we have to know, but till I have given a little prior idea about what is fluid connective tissue, but fluid connective tissue have to be discussed in detail in our chapter, that is body fluid and circulation. So that's all about the plasma. I told that is about the component of the blood fluid component, and another type of fluid connective tissue apart from blood is lymph. So this is the lymph. Okay, so how this lymph is formed, how this lymph is produced, how it will be formed, how it will once again come back to the blood vascular system by a system called lymphatic system. What is the component present in that lymphatic system, lymph actually, that is basically one cell, that is WBC. It is very much less in the protein components like fibrinogen, globulin will be very much less, but yes, it is going to have high biomolecule glucose and high level of iron, sodium, calcium, etc. So that's all about the lymph. That's all about the fluid connective tissue. So we have completed the connective tissue. In the next video we will start the muscular tissue. So till now, that's all about the connective tissue. Hope you have understood. Thank you.